Hello, good morning. It's Wednesday the 25th of October and it's coming up to 10:15. So I've been busy for the last few days and I'm going to be busy for the next several days, but I've managed to squeeze in about 6 hours of free time. So I'm out to do a little bit of exploring locally. So I'm only heading about 15 miles from home, but I'm exploring East Mendip. Now most people think of the Mendips as West Mendip, the West Mendip limestone plateau. It's the area of outstanding natural beauty, the AONB. Places like Cheddar Gorge, Wales Cathedral, Wookey Hole, Priddy. And it's fantastic. I love the West Mendip. But it also carries on, maybe less dramatically, as far as Shepton Mallet and Froome. East Mendip doesn't really have the same grandeur as West Mendip, but in many ways it's just beautiful. It's a perfect counterweight and nowhere captures that better than where I am now. So East Mendip is also defined by the villages scattered around it, places like Leon Mendip, Colford, Stratton-on-the-Foss, which is where I'm heading. And the place I'm off to visit, I was doing some research the other day. I just wanted a bit of context and one or two facts and figures, not too much. And what I came across was quite extraordinary, really. It surprised me. And there's also two tragedies which are connected to it. So I'm going to head up there now and I'll see you there. So I'm now at my destination. I'm in the middle of the village of Stratton-on-the-Foss and I'm just about to head in this way. I'm going to see if I can look round Downside Abbey. I very rarely cycle this way because it's a main road. I drive by sometimes, I look at this abbey and think I must visit that sometime. So today's the day. You can actually see it quite distinctively all around the surrounding landscape. It sticks up and I've always wanted to come and have a look. So let's go and see if we can actually look around. So I'm now in the grounds of Downside Abbey. I've just popped my head in the visitor's shop. They said it's fine to go in and have a look around, so I'm just at the entrance. I'm about to go in, but just before I do, a little bit of background and some context. A couple of surprising facts actually. It looks very old. It's built in a Gothic style, and we tend to associate abbeys, cathedrals, Middle Ages, medieval period. So some local examples. Salisbury Cathedral, 759 years old. Bath Abbey, which was the last of the medieval churches built in this country, finished in 1616, so that's 401 years old. Downside Abbey started in 1873, finished in 1925, so it's only 92 years old. I just find that really quite remarkable. I'm not an expert in architecture. The great thing is that gives me a beginner's mind, so one of the things I want to see is when I go in, does it have that old musty echoey feel of a big grand old cathedral or abbey, or is it going to feel modern? Certainly the outside looks weathered and it looks very old. So the moment I walked in you do get that very old musty smell, and you can probably tell by my voice it's very echoey in here, but looking at the stonework it does look remarkably modern. Wow. Well, I can't claim to be a religious person, but it did seem right to make a donation, buy a candle and light it for absent friends. So I've just been inside, and the moment I walked through the door you could feel that musty smell of an old church or an abbey. The moment I actually looked around, it was the stonework looks very new inside, although it's in a Gothic style. It seemed a hybrid almost. So there was a tragic event here during the Second World War, so I'm going to be reading from notes now. It happened around 3 p.m. on Saturday the 15th of May 1943. two sea hurricanes from RNAS Yeovilton were training in the skies above Downside during a cricket match. You can sort of see the grounds all round here. Just beyond that wall is the school. So that's where the tragedy happened. So this is a written account by a pupil at the time. He says, the disaster happened at about 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, and most of the school was watching the match on a bank overlooking the lower cricket field. One of the hurricanes made several swoops over the field because the pilot had a relation in the school. The other plane had to follow him because they were carrying out manoeuvres together. Looking down over the field, I could see that the leading aircraft was only 6 feet off the ground. The other plane, piloted by New Zealand called McCracken, hit trees and was enveloped in a ball of fire. It went down the bank where the boys were playing. Many of them didn't see it coming, and 9 boys were killed in addition to the pilot. The pilot in the leading aircraft was court-martialed. As the hurricane came down, it came down at such a force, sudden impact. The actual engine was ripped out of the fuselage, and it actually went through and pierced the wall of the Abbey. Another account by the headmaster reported planes around 30 to 40 feet off the ground, easily hit by an airborne cricket ball. So the boy's description is about 6 feet off the ground. The headmaster was about 30 to 40 feet, so you can draw your own conclusions from that, but obviously low enough for it to be really, really dangerous and cause that terrible accident. 70 years later, there was another aircraft crashed in the grounds of the school, and this is from the BBC website, September the 30th, 2013. It reads, a pilot was killed when his plane came down in fog near a public school. The pilot, who has not been named, crashed in the 4-seater in the grounds of Downside Abbey at Stratton-on-the-Foss shortly before midday. A police spokeswoman said ambulance crews were on the ground and the Civil Aviation Agency had been informed. The Air Accident Investigations Branch sent a man to the scene. Farmer Andrew Coombs said there was thick, drizzly fog at the time. I heard what sounded like a display stunt team. It was a very, very loud, intense engine noise, like a car door slamming in the distance, then silence, said Mr. Coombs, who farms nearby the Abbey. The plane came down in the grounds of Downside Roman Catholic boarding school, but there were no other injuries. Chief Inspector John Hawke from Avon and Somerset Police said, the indications are that the pilot almost certainly was killed on impact. He said it had been a private flight with a private aircraft from the Somerset locality to the home counties. Whilst we have not formally identified the pilot, we believe we know who it is, and the next of kin have been informed. So, within 70 years, 2 aircraft came down in this school. The first during the war, which killed 9 people, and the second one killed the pilot only. So, remarkable coincidence, really, when you think about it. Well, that's midday ringing. It reminds me I need to get back on my bike and get back to Bath. I've got quite a bit to do this afternoon. So it's been a really great visit. I can't believe it's taken me so many years to actually get around to getting in here. But I guess it's like so many of us. There's things on our doorstep we just take for granted. It's been a fantastic few hours out. Nice bumping into some of my old VC Walker mates on the way out. They're off on a midweek club run.
Andy!
Oh yeah. Give us a wave.
Are we looking good?
So, if you've got this far, thanks very much for watching, and till next time.